I wanted to talk about kind of something you were talking about with contracts
Mhm.
with Trent Williams, but I think it's a more broader problem with the Niners is that for some reason they keep trying to backload these contracts. And to me, it's really frustrating because, I heard one of your callers, I think yesterday, say that make the comparison of the early 90s Cowboys, right? Which I don't think was a bad
Pre-free agency.
comparison.
Pre-free
Yeah,
agency.
yeah,
Yeah.
pre-free agency, right?
Pre-free agency.
But
Yep.
I think they're really starting to become like what the Dallas Cowboys are like now, which is they
Yes.
have all these big contracts. They have all these players that push them down the line. They're like, oh, yeah, yeah, we'll figure out the money. We'll
Yeah.
do this, we'll do that. We'll add these, whatever. And I
Yeah.
feel like they're really setting themselves up for failure right now because I think the way their cap situation is set up, it's crazy. Like next year's cap, actually, if you look at 2021 versus 2022, they have more cap liabilities tied in. It's like 183 million. And this year they only have 175, at least in like that top 51. So I'm really worried about, that I think we talked about this a few times this offseason, how they're trying to go all in, right?
Yeah.
And I think backloading all these contracts is going to make that even worse because I feel like, this is going to be their season, right? Quote unquote, to really go all in because like I said, it only gets more expensive from here. So I just don't understand how they're going to be able to make their team better after next year. I feel like unless they hit on all this on some great draft picks or something or get the quarterback right, they're going to be in an even worse situation next offseason than they were in this offseason.
Okay, here's how I see it. I mean, what Parag Marath enthusiasts and defenders would say is, look, it's cap friendly now. It's backloaded when the cap will rise because of the TV contract. The Niners will figure it out. It's no problem, and that part is true. What the problem I have an issue with is by backloading these deals for Armstead, Trent Williams. What they used to do was front load deals and make it so the Niners could escape basically after 2 or 3 years with no dead cap liabilities. That's not what these deals are. These deals, I mean, they're cheap now. I mean, they're in the sense that they work in the cap now, but Trent Williams is basically guaranteed to be on this team for at least the next 3 years. Same with Eric Armstead. And the problem is,
oh yeah,
what if dude gets hurt?
Yeah,
look at D Ford. You can't move on. These dudes are in their 30s.
And it's not even them too. It's a bigger problem. I mean, even Kyle Juszczyk's contract is backloaded. That's crazy to me. I don't understand why they can't figure out how to front load some of these deals and at least balance out what they're trying to do because I feel like they're screwing themselves over right now by putting all this money down the line and then being like, oh, we'll figure it out and all this stuff. But like you're saying, I mean, Eric Armstead, the D Ford contract originally, Trent Williams this offseason, George Kittle. I mean, they're gonna have to sign Fred Warner. What do you think is going to happen?
You're mortgaging the future to win now, but you don't have a quarterback to pull it off. It doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I was on Twitter yesterday being like, what is up with this Trent Williams contract? Why was this something the Niners needed to do? Why did this make sense for the Niners? Why were they the team that needed to make a 33-year-old left tackle the highest paid offensive lineman of all time? They don't have the quarterback to protect. Who are you protecting? No. Jimmy's going to get hurt one way or he's going to find a way to get hurt. Trent Williams can't prevent that. I mean, I'm sorry. He didn't get hurt. He got hurt because of Laken Tomlinson last year. He got hurt running downfield in 28. I'm sorry. If you had Tom Brady, sure, man, make that move. But you don't. So,
well, and also, I think with the Trent Williams thing, I'm not necessarily. I don't think it's as bad as you say it is. I don't think it's great, but at the same time, that's a deal you could have tried to front load. If you had front loaded that deal, it would be so much better for the Niners, especially if you tried to put all that money in the first 2 years. But instead, they're putting it like year 4, 5, 6, and because of that, they're either gonna have to hang on to him for all that time, or they're gonna have to deal with the dead cap and all the cap casualties that go along with that. And man, I think it's really frustrating that they did this almost. It seems like now 2 off seasons in a row. I mean, I don't understand why last offseason they weren't trying to front load contracts. So, that's my spiel for today. But yeah. Man.
Well, I appreciate your spiel. I always like your spiel, man. Thanks for coming on.
Well, and hey, before I get out, I want to say, so, we talked about college basketball a little bit. I might be trying to make my flight for Indianapolis, depending on what happens on Monday. So we'll see
Good
about
luck,
that.
man. I'm pulling for you. Go FSU.